Right, good morning. Moving on with this Aria Pro 2 Dragon Strat guitar. I've stripped it this morning and I'm going to explain a couple of things and how I like to do things here at Fret Friend Christian Guitars. When you come in for a complete setup, it's what you get. You get your guitar stripped, pulled apart and rebuilt from the bottom up. Blah, 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 blah. So what you get in a full, it's the best way to do it. You get everything done that way, including your frets all checked, levelled, your nut cut, blah, 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 blah. Your electrics all checked, all done. Switch cleaning there where need be, do a bit of soldering where need be, set all your pick up levels, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, complete setup is exactly what it is. It's a complete setup. It's worth every penny, whatever you pay. I think guitar techs, luthiers, whatever, absolutely worth their salt. You know, it's up to you what price you want to pay. Some are cheaper than others. You know, there can be a bit of difference here and there. You'll find a level, you'll find the right one if you're earnestly looking for you know, the right job. So anyway, let's move on with Aria Pro 2. Got it stripped this morning, knowing that you know, I've got to route the body, for instance, for one to get the bridge in the right position. It's 5mm too much the wrong way, so let's work on that for now. And the problem being was this: it's a replacement bridge, so it doesn't quite fit and go back enough to get your intonation set right. If you look where the holes had been put, they'd been put the wrong side of where the original bridge went. You can't do that. You can't put them holes forward of where the bridge is supposed to sit. So the intonation's never been right on this guitar. Now, look at the size of that hole there, now it's been routed. Absolutely terrible job, but worse, and I'm not honest, well, you've probably seen it now already. I took the scratch plates off, and I couldn't believe what I saw underneath. Look what's been done to this guitar. Look at that, it's been done with a chisel by a blind man. And here, absolutely disgraceful. Why would you take something as beautiful as this and new and do that to it? If you're going to put pickups in, if you're going to do any modifications to a guitar, do it right. This guitar could have been worth something. You know, I've seen them on eBay for $1,000. Well, I don't know what they sold for, but that's neither here nor there. But it's a beautiful looking guitar and quite a rare piece. And any value that was in it, that's taking a big chunk out on it. I'm not even going to attempt to tie the R up. I'm not touching it, because all I've got to do is do the bridge. That's all I'm being paid for. So really disappointing there. And the route here at the back, terrible shape. But how are we going to fix this? Well, I've put a piece of tape on there to show where the route needs to be so I can fit the bridge. Now luckily this guitar has got a top. The top is a different wood to the underneath. So it's got a lip under there, which is, I'm going to route the actual lip where my finger is here, look. That's the one I'm going to route out. There. So to do that, how do we do it? Well, we don't do it how this has been done. What we do is, we go make a template, which I've already done, I've already measured and I've already, not cut yet, but we'll make a template of the size of the hole we need to make, which is going to be there. And once that's all done, I'm going to drill inside of here, and I'll finish it off with a file, or a couple of files, and I'll make that shape inside. And what we do is, we take the template and we clamp it to the body of the guitar, and that then gives me a guideline for the router bit to follow, because the router bit's got a collar, and the collar runs around the edge of the wood, runs inside the template, and the cutter cuts the wood. So that's what we're going to do. So these things, you know, it's not a 2-minute affair making one of these. This is what we're charging for as well. So when you're paying a few quid for a bit of routing and that done, don't think someone's just going with a router and cutting a hole, because there's a lot more to it than that. Anyway, moving on. Router I'm using is my new one. I've only used it once. Trent T4, beautiful router. I was going to go for the Bosch one, which is a standard among luthiers, but they use this one as well, and this was a little bit cheaper and I could afford it at the time. If I want to move on to the Bosch later, I can do that. So that's where we're at this morning. Little surprise with the pickups. I thought there might be DiMarzios, because your Japanese builders in the 70s and early 80s, your Tokais, your Hondas, your Arias and that, came with DiMarzio pickups, and I took the back off, and lo and behold, There you go, some DiMarzios in there. I doubt they came stock, actually, thinking about it now, so I can take that all back. But they're DiMarzios anyway. DiMarzios were used, especially on your Hondos and stuff like that from the 70s, 80s. So we know they're going to sound good. Scratch plate is okay, you know. So that's it. So what we're going to do, my job is to get this guitar playing right. With the bridge set where it was never going to play right. That has never intoned correctly since this bridge was installed, incorrectly installed. So 35 year, whatever. That guitar's never tuned in right since that bridge was changed. And I was told that bridge, the bloke, they only got this guitar in the 70s. So this guitar has never played right for 35, 40 years. What else I've got to do is all these holes, the old tremolo holes where I took out the trem posts. I'm going to redraw them to 6mm and I'm going to get some glue in there and we'll get some dowel in there. Also the old tremolo holes here, from the original tremolo, the 6 screw type of here, which I never liked anyway. We'll fill them in. Matching the wood up. I've got no stain, brown stain to match the wood up. If I've got a felt tip, I'll probably do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave it. You know, hopefully we'll find some stain and we'll get it all sorted out. But it's about getting these holes plugged in, getting this all smooth again, giving us something solid to drill into. And I'm going to drill, these holes are going to come back 5mm with centres. So we're going to bring them back there. And then we can get the intonation set right. When it comes to the bridge itself, I don't know what you can see there, the screws, they're not screws, well the screws are rusty anyway, but the springs are really, really rusty. Now, I've got a load somewhere. I've got a load of new spring. I went and bought a load from China a couple of years ago. And it's all in stock, new springs. I've got loads of this, I've got a length of this, so I'll use some of that. We'll get some new springs in there. The screws are absolutely fine. One screw is actually in there, snapped in half, and it's buried inside the saddle. I can't get that out, there's no way, so I'm going to have to leave it as it is. But we'll find a place where it intones correctly and it adjusts fine, and that's going to be it. So we'll get it all working, we'll get it all bang on. So that's going to be it today. I'm going to blob on with the work. It's about, what time is it? It's quarter to 9 in the morning. So I'm going to crack on with this now. I'm going to get that template cut and built, get it clamped on, get it routed, get some gluing done. And while all that's drying out and everything, I'll get on to polishing the frets, checking all these tuners, getting all the cut strings off there, check all the tuners are alright, do some other jobs. I'll clean up the, I'm not going to clean up the wire. The wiring's not brilliant, it's just blobbed on there, but it all works. So if it works, all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these two, the input jack wires. I'm going to use a braided cloth wire, which I buy, which I use the Gibson Fender type gear, proper gear, get some of that in there, get that tidied up, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to come back to you. I'll come back when I'm either ready to assemble the guitar or I've assembled the guitar. So till then, be good.